So the Samsung Galaxy S24 series is finally here, and Samsung had this very glitzy launch event in India itself. There were so many content creators at the event, especially the really funny ones, that it feels like Samsung literally picked out my Instagram feed and put them at the launch event. In fact, when Samsung showcased the S24 Ultra to us for the very first time, they actually brought it in a drone. I mean, that's the event, but I've had a little bit of a hands-on time with these phones, and it's all about the artificial intelligence inside. It's not about what's on the outside, which looks very similar to the Samsung Galaxy S23 series. I think a lot of you will agree on that. So let's get into my quick first look of the S24 Ultra, the S24 and the S24 Plus as well. If you're here for the first time, I'm Ashar. You're watching Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. The S24 Ultra's hardware design has one very important change, and that's the inclusion of the titanium frame, which makes it slimmer and it also makes it lighter. And it has been flattened out from all the four sides. The inline feel seems to be much more improved. Not that the S23 Ultra had a bad inline feel, but the S24 Ultra is even better. But one very important change on the S24 Ultra is the fact that you now have a flat display, and the bezels on all the four sides are very slim, but I actually do prefer the flat display. I'm glad that Samsung has moved in this direction. What do you guys think? Did you want a curved display or a flat display? Let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, if you look at this, it does look very, very good. Now when you talk about the S24 and the S24 Plus, they're very similar in terms of design when you look at the S23 and the S23 Plus. But of course, the sides have been flattened out even more now, and more importantly, you get a larger display size on the S24 now, because you have slimmer bezels, so you get a 6.2-inch display. Now talking about the displays on these phones, all the three phones have a peak brightness of 2600 nits. And on the S24 Ultra and the S24 Plus, you also do get a maximum resolution of WQHD, and all the three phones also have the LTPO 1Hz to 120Hz panel. But there's one thing that separates the smaller S24 from the larger phones, is that the S24 actually has Full HD Plus resolution compared to the WQHD resolution on both these phones. Yes, the S24 Plus also gets WQHD, and you get it at 120Hz refresh rate as well. So yeah, design and hardware wise, it's a bit of a nip and tuck here and there, but a big chunk of the changes is in, of course, the software experience that you're going to be getting with these phones, and that is being driven by something called Galaxy AI, and that's what Samsung wants to call it. But before I talk about that, one very awesome thing has happened with the S24 series, and that's the fact that Samsung is now going to provide 7 years of software updates and 7 years of security updates. They've actually beaten Apple at the game that they were really good at. Yes, you'll get more software updates on Samsung Galaxy phones now compared to iPhones. Now before I talk about all the Galaxy AI features itself, let it be known that a lot of these features are actually powered by Google's Gemini Nano LLM. There's a lot of Google integration that's happening, and one such Google integration with artificial intelligence that's been enabled is the new Circle Search feature. Now this Circle to Search feature is honestly one of the really nicest artificial intelligence implementations that I've seen. So basically all you need to do is press the home button, and it sort of takes a screenshot of whatever you're seeing on your screen, and then you can circle any particular product or object, and it will give you information directly on Google search. Say for example, if you're watching a reel and if you like somebody's shoes, then all you need to do is just hold that home button, and the Google search will come up, and you can just circle around the shoes and it'll give you all the information about the shoes. So hypebeasts out there will definitely love such kind of features. And it also works if you have enabled gesture controls. All you need to do is hold the handlebar and the circle search comes up. The other really interesting feature that I loved is the fact that you've got the Notes app, and the Notes app has a lot of AI features now. Basically with the Notes Assist feature, if you have a long note, then you can summarize it to become a short one. And say for example, you have just random thoughts and you just keep writing that down on notes. The Notes app will actually summarize that for you in a form of a nice bulleted list, and there are different formats that are available as well. All of that is done extremely well. The other interesting feature is the interpreter feature, which can actually live translate if somebody's talking to you in a different language. Of course, it does translation in Hindi as well, and there are 13 languages supported right now. And this live translate feature also translates to calls. So if somebody's talking to you in a certain language and if you want that live translated, then it happens. Say for example, if on a call somebody's talking to you in Spanish, then it actually translates that to English for you to understand it easier. You know what the best part about that specific feature is? All of those recordings are stored for you to refer at a later date, and it also works with landline calls. It doesn't necessarily have to be with a smartphone. In fact, the live translate feature also works across messaging apps. For example, if you're using Messages or if you're using WhatsApp, it works there as well, and it works with ease, and all of that processing happens on device. Talking about which, there is a security feature where you can switch on the option to make all the processing function on device itself. But if you switch this on, there are certain features that won't work, and that is the generative edit feature within the Gallery app itself. Yes, you've got Google Pixel-like generative edit feature on the Samsung Galaxy S24 series as well. In fact, you can copy and paste any subject and move them across the frame, and it will do that with ease. And when you take a photo and if you swipe down, then you will see a Galaxy AI button, and you can click that and you can see all the AI change suggestions that the Gallery app has for you. For example, it'll ask you to remaster, remove shadows, remove reflections, all of those things. So from the looks of it, the Galaxy S24 series, especially the Galaxy S24 Ultra, is probably the best AI phone in the world right now because of all the cool AI things that it's doing, and it's actually kind of doing it well. I've been testing them out and it seems to be working really well too. And most of these features will come in handy when you use the phone in real life as well. Now let's talk about the performance on these phones. On the Galaxy S24 Ultra, of course, you get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but the S24 and the S24 Plus come with Exynos 2400. Now, I'm not going to be talking in detail about the performance of these phones. I'm going to be testing them out for sure. In fact, I'm also going to be testing out the Exynos 2400. But what do you guys think about this move? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to know your thoughts. So apparently the heat dissipation has been improved and the phone will run cooler during long gaming sessions as well. And that apart, you also do get ray tracing support on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. I'm actually wondering if the S24 Ultra is going to be the best gaming phone, primarily because it's got a flat display also now. That is something that I'm really, intrigued to test out. And by the way, on the S24 Ultra, you've now got Gorilla Armor protection, which is apparently the toughest protection that you can find. And it is apparently also even more scratch resistant, including micro scratches or abrasions that you generally see on ceramic shield on the iPhone. That will not be a concern on the S24 Ultra, is what Corning says. By the way, the battery size on the S24 Ultra continues to be 5000 mAh. On the S24 Plus, it's now 4900 mAh, and on the S24, it is 4000 mAh. And of course, charging speeds continue to be 25 watts. Now talking about the cameras on the S24 Ultra are something that I really want to talk about, because you've got that 200 megapixel sensor, which apparently now has a larger pixel size of 1.4 micron pixels, which means that the light intake is going to be better, and according to Samsung, the nightography will be better, or low light photography will be better. And apart from that, the 10MP 3x telephoto camera continues to exist, but now there's a 50MP 5x camera. And that 5x camera, Samsung claims, can also do 10x pictures without loss of details thanks to AI. And of course, you've also got the ultra wide angle camera and the selfie camera as well. Now, unfortunately, we can't talk about the camera samples themselves, but there are a lot of AI features with respect to camera as well. For example, you can actually turn any video into a slow motion video. Even if you're shooting a 4K 30 FPS video, that can be converted into a slow motion video. I think that's damn cool. And another thing that Samsung is doing is that it's working directly with Instagram and Snapchat. So much so that, all the content that you're going to be uploading, captured using this phone, will all be done at the best quality. That's assured. But more importantly, for the very first time, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra will be the first phone to be able to upload HDR photos to Instagram. Up till now, I've seen HDR videos from iPhone, but the S24 Ultra will be able to do HDR photos. By the way, one of the things I forgot to mention is that if you actually make generative AI edits to any picture, Samsung adds that information to the metadata, which means that the metadata will tell any user that, this image has been altered, which is very good because it is protection against, deepfakes and stuff like that. And finally, and very interestingly, all across Android, Nearby Share that used to exist has been rebranded to Quick Share now. So yeah, all Android phones are going to be using Quick Share, including of course the Galaxy S24 series. So that was our quick look at the Galaxy S24 series, but there's a lot that I'm going to be testing out, so stay tuned for all of our videos, and for that you need to stay subscribed as well. By the way, I definitely want to ask you guys one thing: which color do you prefer, especially in the Galaxy S24 Ultra, because it's got a few extra colors, including this yellow one that's available on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I think this, gray titanium color looks very, very good. Oh, also one more thing, if you're wondering about the India prices, that's going to be coming later. The moment it comes, we'll add a pinned comment below, so go check that out. So that's it from me for this video. I'm excited to test out the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and I'd love your thoughts on what you'd like to see, what content you'd like to see on these phones. That's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.